Hey, Fry, are you okay? What happened? Where's Brown?
That's a damn good question. I think the answer is everywhere. Wizard of Oz mission. Don't get me started. More like Baba Yaga the Witch.
What are you talking about?
She just showed up, man. At least I think it was a woman.
Watch your tone when you're talking to me. And what happened then?
She made him disappear. He was gone. We saw her stand on a cliff. A woman in a spacesuit. Kenneth approached her and she looked at him. Boom! One gesture of her hand and he was gone.
What do you mean, gone?
Gone as in turned to dust.
Are you drunk? Did this woman not see you?
No, I was hidden behind a hill. Then she started turning towards me, and I jumped into the Rover and drove off. I got beat up pretty bad, but I didn't care.
And you want me to believe this hogwash?
Yes, I know what I saw. I maybe don't know who it is, but that woman was wearing one of our suits.
Right. You're going to medical, right now. Have them check out your head.
Any ideas? Because I'm stumped.
Nope, the solar module is broken and we don't have a replacement. And the cables don't fit the hydrogen systems because nobody is able to decide on a standard for them yet. You know, the emergency generator by the drilling hole has a battery that it charges while it's running. That one might fit.
Mark would kill you.
Yeah, it would only last a couple of hours, but if they ever pick the rover up, well, at least they wouldn't have to push it.
I'll keep it in mind.
It's got power from the station, but just shows error messages when I start it. I only know the point's name, but I don't have the coordinates. I have to look for them on the control room's console. I'll switch it off. The flickering is getting on my nerves. What's this, Core?
That's a mission console. With this, you can access saved locations and expeditions from this station's past. Scanning. I can find no evacuation data.
We can take a look at it anyway, even if it won't get us anywhere.
We only know part of the sector name of the evacuation point, 29 to 14. But 2 digits are missing and probably only the security officer knows them. We only know part of the sector name of the We only know part of the sector name of the evacuation point, 29 to 14.
I only know one part.
Tessa, we're not going for a joyride. We want to find the evacuation point. Here we will not find out which of the points was their evacuation point. We only know part of the sector name of the evacuation.
All areas are open and the garbage incinerator is generating power. I shouldn't change anything around. I only know.
We only know part of the sector name of the evac.
I only know what.
We only know part of the sector name of the evacuation point. 29 to 14. We only know part of the sector.
It's got power from the station, but just shows error messages when I start it. I only know the point's name, but I don't have the coordinates. I have to look for them on the control room's console. It's supposed to contain a battery that fits into the rover. This cylinder down here looks like the compartment for it. This has to be the compartment the mechanic was talking about.
Alright, I guess all the cables have to come off first.
And there it is.
This beam attracts magnetic objects.
You can move it.
As long as I don't know what's missing, I won't do anything with it. There's diagnosis programs for that. As long as I don't know... I removed it from the generator. One of the mechanics said that it should fit in the rover. I only know one part of the...
Tessa, we're not going for Tessa, we're not here. We will not find out which of the points was their evacuation point. We only know part of the sector name of the evacuation point. We only know part of the sector. We only know part of.
I only know...
We only know part of the sector name of the evacuation point. 29 to 14. But 2 digits are missing, and probably only the security officer knows them. We only know part of the sector name. We only know part of the sector name of the We only know part of the We only know part of the sector name. We only know part of the sector. We only know part. We only know part of the sector name of the evacuation point. We only know part of the sector name of the evacuation point. 29 to 14.
All areas...
This is Space Carrier MS Kalinkoff. We have received your estimated arrival in... This is Space Carrier MS Kalinkoff. We have received your signal and are on course towards your position. Estimated arrival in... 3 days. Please convey your landing coordinates.
Okay, shut down everything not necessary for survival.
Drilling halted.
Are the
Rover 1 is on it.
How bad is it?
I don't have any idea.
Good. Commander Carter, I hope this message... I've tried to reach you on every single channel. There's been no reply so far. We've started the evacuation protocol NOAA and almost completed. We haven't heard from any other ships. I can't say when. The whole team and their families, they're all... We've had problems with our vehicles, but we haven't had time to take care of them. I will be reluctantly using the last functioning rover to get... One of the broken rovers remains in the hangar. I also hope you will get back in time. The evacuation point sector in the database is 29-14-Z...
It wasn't planned.
Commander I've tried. We haven't heard the whole team. We've had problems with one of the broken... I also hope you will get the evacuation point sector...
I only know what...
We only know part of this. We only know. We only know part of the sector name of the evacuation point. We only know part of the sector name of the evacuation point, 29 to 14. But 2 digits are missing and probably only the security officer knows them.
There he is! He stopped specifically to point at something.
It can only be this sign.
Level 02. Could these be the last numbers of the evacuation point?
This is very possible, but would also be a great coincidence.
29, 14, 02.
You should be able to find the mission point in the console on the right side in the control room.
That's the point the security officer was talking about. Let's have a look then. A fully functioning rover could manage this route, yes. I doubt the one in the hangar would manage it. I have to repair it and check the analysis program to find out more. This is not the vehicle that is available to us. I doubt the one in the
You could set a route, but as long as we don't know what sort of terrain the rover is capable of, that would be pointless.
So we have to repair it first and then analyze it.
You could set a route, but as long as we don't know what sort.
So we have to repair it first and then analyze it. Okay, so we'll definitely need the rover. I guess we'll play mechanic after all. Thanks for not pointing out that Mark would come in handy right now. As long as I don't know what's missing.
Start analysis program. No battery fitted. Please insert compatible model. Axle mounting back right broken. Replacement needed. For better reachability, work safety and load relief for the axle. The vehicle must be stored in an elevated position.
As long as it's on the ground, I can't put this in. Core, what can you tell me about this shovel?
High-performance Hofmeister steel can carry about 6 cubic meters and is used to transport scrap and trash to the incinerator. The entire structure has a maximum capacity of about 30 tons and a traction force of a few hundred kilonewtons.
And now for people who aren't steel experts?
You can fit a lot inside, and there's hardly anything so heavy that it couldn't lift it.
Core?
High performance, the entire
And
you can fit a lot in.
The straps are attached, but I can't just lift it like this. I have to get to the bottom somehow. Core, what can you tell me?
High performance, the entire
And
you can fit a lot.
right, I can attach the hook to the straps. And where do I put the hook? I could wedge that in there to give it a good grip, but I can't reach it where it is right now. Core, what can...
High perform, the entire
And now for...
you can fit a lot in.
I could wedge that in there to give it a good grip. But there's nothing in reach that I could latch onto the crane. I could wedge that in there to give it, but I can't reach it. I could wedge that in, but I can't. Core, what?
Hyper, the entire, you can fit a lot.
I could wedge that in there, but there's nothing in reach that I could latch onto the crane. Right, I can attach... I could wedge that... But there's nothing in reach... I could wedge that in there to give it... Okay, the hook is attached to the straps and the crane. The garbage incinerator.
We can incinerate, for instance.
And up we go. Carefully. Let's hope the crane endures. Right. That should work. Oh yeah, all the little gizmos in the rover are coming to life. He's all powered up. I've replaced the battery, so it's got power. Of course, the analysis program was right. The axle mounting is broken, but it shouldn't be too hard to get it out. And that's that. I'll take it with me. I should be able to recreate the mounting with this. Maybe I can find the model in the computer. I can't just put these parts in like this. The 3D printer needs the metal to be homogeneous. I can retrieve a box for hazardous materials. The other boxes are all assigned to individual employees. I'm going to need their ID cards. The computer controls the robot to retrieve boxes from the ceiling.
If you insert an ID,
A workbench full of
And of course, no workbench would be complete.
This part is from the rover's axle mounting, and it's broken. There's a serial number here. GN2144FN. This controls... Here, that's the axle mounting serial number. I'll save it to my favorites. So it says here that we need at least 500 grams of rainy metal, an alloy. The object itself is only about 440 grams, but the printer needs more material for the process to support the model. That's why we need 500 grams. Where can we get rainy metal?
rainy metal is mostly made up of gaffinium, so it is a relatively new substance. Due to its high stability and lightweight, it is mostly used to make vehicles. Gaffinium was only discovered a few decades ago. Following this discovery, facilities like this one were constructed everywhere to obtain it. You will not be able to find it in the machines or walls here, but it was being mined here, so there must be some of it somewhere. Majalt is also a rare metal, but it has been known for much longer. It used to be used in all kinds of things, but ever since they found out it made a profitable alloy with gaffinium, it has become incredibly valuable.
So we need pure Majalt and gaffinium.
I registered Majalt before. The screws in the workbench down there are made from Majalt. Confirmed. Majalt screws. That means you already have some with you.
Excellent. Now all I need is gaffinium. Calibrate your environmental scan to specifically look for these important elements. There has to be some gaffinium somewhere around here. Various acids. I could... A workbench.
And of course...
Nothing helpful. The cables. Lots of bottles with... These barrels have been here for ages.
It should not be anything dangerous, otherwise...
Some bars that might lead us to the station's interior.
No, these bars are part of a ring-shaped air exhaust system.
These thick cables lead down into the shaft.
There is gaffinium in the upper ore sample. Tessa! It is interspersed with other materials, but there should be enough for the axis suspension.
But it's too big to carry. Plus, there are other elements mixed in. We have to somehow extract the gaffinium.
This ore sample contains no gaffinium. This sample is made of 60% gaffinium, 15%. This ore sample contains no gaffinium.
The hydrochloric acid is eating its way through the rock, splitting the ore. It's making it porous, but it's not moving otherwise.
This sample is made of 70% gaffinium.
I already used that. More of it won't do anything.
This sample is...
Even if I could break the ore with this, which I can't, the gaffinium still wouldn't be pure. Even if I could...
This sample is made of 70% gaffinium, 15% copper, 3% silver, and 12% gold. This sample is made...
Core, could you separate the metals with the right temperature?
Unfortunately not. Their melting points are too close to each other. That makes it difficult to extract them.
Still, people found a way to do it. I just don't know what it is.
That won't achieve anything.
And this shed has been a true friend through thick and thin. I won't risk it. Even if I could break the ore with it. I already used. Various acids. I shouldn't carry around more than 2. Chloric acid. Nitric acid. I should be careful with this, or I'll be needing medical assistance. This stuff can eat. I should be careful with this. I shouldn't carry around. Before I take.
Attention, warn. This may. A bit of this. A bit of this. There are materials in the mixer. I'll activate it.
There are materials. Now this should be Aqua Regi. It's dissolving everything, except the Gaffinium. It's crumbling into chunks. I can take them with me. A 3D... but there's no material. This is almost pure Gaffinium, but the 3D printer needs rainy. I have to mix the Gaffinium and my alt first, as precisely as possible in the correct ratio. This should create rainy metal.
Well, the alloy has a certain ratio. You cannot simply pour these things together. If the mixture is not precise, the printer will not accept it.
Now I can burn. According to a workbench full of...
And of course, it would take an eternity if I tried melting solid metal over an open fire.
A workbench full of...
And of course, no work. There are some elements and materials.
This should create...
Well, the alloy has a certain... If the mixture is not...
This mixer can only work with liquids. There's nothing in... precision scale. Let's get those metals weighed. Okay, this rainy metal has a special composition. We'll just weigh the materials.
A good and logical plan, Tessa. Derivations of 1 gram for a total amount of 50 grams is still within tolerance parameters, according to my calculations, but the printer might not accept any derivations larger than that as rainy metal.
I'll weigh the other metal first and put it aside. I'll mix them at... Okay, then let's mix them and hope they're in the right ratio. We can still separate them for now. I mixed my ult and Gafinium in the hopes of creating the right alloy. I mixed my ult... Okay, let's get those metal... Okay, then... A 3D printer that... But there's no... The 3D printer can't mix the metals together. It needs them in a homogeneous state.
These metals will only fuse at a temperature above 910 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, I'll ignite it if I...
It would take an eternity.
The metal has melted and turned into a block. Okay, I found it in the computer. The metal has melted. A 3D but there's no material. Good. This should be the right material. Just not enough of it. And in it goes. I should try printing so the computer can tell me if this is the correct alloy. This controls the 3D printer and has one of these parts is the axle mounting that I need for the Rover. Great! The alloy is correct! Let's get going then. This would have taken ages a few years ago, but modern machines can do it in a few minutes. There we are, a brand new axle mounting. Looks good. Let's see. Core, can you show me what part belongs where? Thanks. Done. Finished. Everything's repaired. Let's get it down and start analysis to check out what it's still capable of. We can let it back down again.